In today's video, I'm going to be reacting to analog or dumb tech. Let's get right into it. Okay, friends, I thought this video would be fun to do because it kind of blends slow living and tech together, which you know I talk about both on this channel. And while this video is going to be going through different tech items, it's not the tech that you're probably expecting. It's definitely not the most innovative, the most highest of high tech, but it's more so something that we're calling dumb tech, and it reverts back to old tech type of stuff, more simplified kinds of things. For example, dumb phones, which we will talk about in today's video. And I do think this is related to slow living because we are reverting back to more simplified tech that is less connected and less in tune with social media and the internet world, and more so we're talking about tech that does like a specific specialized thing, if that makes sense. So we are going to jump into a bunch of different products. I'm going to share my laptop screen. My laptop is right here, and we're just going to go through some top products that I have been seeing in the dumb tech space, and we're just going to react to it and see what we think about it. And as we are going through the video, feel free to put your thoughts in the comments section as well if anything sounds interesting, cool, or kind of pointless to you. And we'll also talk about whether or not I have some of these tech items, or whether or not I would probably get one of these tech items and maybe review it, talk about it more later on the channel, whatever it may be. But let's jump right into it. Okay, friends, so we are going to start off here when it comes to dumb tech. And this is a familiar one, not just for me, but for the channel. I have done a couple of videos on Kindles before because I do have a Kindle. Ian has a Kindle. So e-readers are definitely a dumb tech item that I am familiar with. And I guess we can call it dumb tech because when we're thinking about e-readers, they're probably closely associated with like tablets, an iPad, or any other kind of tablet, because they kind of do the same functions. You can read on an iPad or another kind of tablet, but e-readers in particular have just e-ink. There's less programs, there's less processing, things move a little bit differently, slower, and they are just specialized for reading books, whereas like an iPad or another tablet is very high powered, high processing, and can do a lot of things. So scrolling through here, I just typed in e-reader in search because I know Kindles are not the only e-readers out there, of course, and I just wanted to see what some cool options are out there, if any. And I honestly think that this first one right here is the coolest, so I'm just going to click on that. It's called the boox, I think that's how you say it, the boox Palma, and it says unleash the power of mobile e-paper. So I'm pretty sure this is like an e-reader, but it is like the size of a smartphone, so it's very, very tiny in comparison to a Kindle. If you're hearing noise, it is raining. So I really love that. I love a small e-reader. If you saw my recent video where I compared the Kindle and the Kindle Paperwhite, you will know that I liked the Kindle standard one because it was tiny, and I love that. So I am a big fan of this. It looks good. It's very aesthetically pleasing. It looks sleek. I think that's a camera. Okay, so let's keep going. So it says, Meet Palma, our new mobile e-paper device, combines cutting-edge performance with an e-ink display and a faux-size design, allowing you to effortlessly slip it into your pocket and carry it on the go. Love that. Love everything about that. If I could chuck my Kindle into my bag at this size, I feel like I would be the most powerful person in the world, honestly. Like, I just love the size of this. And actually, looking at this picture over here, it looks like there are widgets and apps that are not just reading. So that's interesting. We have like the display here, we have the RAM, customizable side buttons, that's really cool. Water repellent design, I love that because you can read by the pool or beach. And it says pocketable design, uncompromised tech. Featuring okay, interesting. It says you can read an ebook, listen to a podcast, or peruse your favorite news feeds. So this is kind of giving dumb phone, like I mentioned in the intro, where there are more simplified phones out there. I didn't expect that. I thought this was strictly an e-reader. So I'm actually surprised to see that it's kind of marketing itself as like a dumb phone. We're not seeing any phone call options here. It just looks like you can browse the internet for the most basic stuff because, again, this is on e-ink, but was not expecting that. It says a phone-like experience on e-paper, essentially what I just said. super interesting. There's widgets. Oh, I kind of like this. I mean, I really, really thought that it was just an e-reader, and I love a simplified device that does like one specialized thing. But I'm also not mad at this. This is kind of cool. Huh. It kind of reminds me of, and I'm going to age myself here, but it kind of reminds me of those pocket planners that people used to have where you could do like calendar stuff, scheduling stuff. You can play like solitaire or something, and it was all like on a techie electronic device, but you couldn't use the phone. You couldn't call anybody, but it was exactly like this. But this obviously looks a lot better than a pocket planner. I really love how it looks. I love the customizable function button. That's really cool. Oh, there's scrolling buttons. That's even cooler because I don't even need to move my finger to like touch the screen. I can just press the button. That is awesome. Okay, and so look, they have a camera. I do not know why there's a camera on this. That does not make sense to me, but this is pretty cool. Let's actually look at the price. Oh, it says it's $200, sold out. Interesting. But it's originally $295. That's almost $300 for this device. I think that's kind of insane and ridiculous for a device like this. $200 maybe, okay, sure, but $300 I feel like is kind of wild. And is probably why I would maybe never purchase something like this. Never say never, I guess, because it does look pretty cool. But anyway, that is the first device. Kind of a surprise there. The next item is something that is very familiar to me as well. It is the Instax, which if you don't know what an Instax is, it's essentially an instant camera. You point, you shoot, and you get an image that prints out immediately. And I remember having like an OG Polaroid camera back in the day. Funny story, not really funny when I think about it, but I had like a massive Polaroid that was like super, super big. One of those big chunky vintage ones. They're vintage now. And I left it at a hotel when I was a kid. And I left that beautiful piece of technology at a hotel by accident. And we just left it there because we were too far by the time I remembered that I left it there. Anyway, I do actually have one of these Instax cameras. I have a version of this one. Whoa, that thunder was really loud. I have an older version of this Instax Mini. So it's kind of like this big. It's not too big, and mine looks a little bit bulkier than this one. I love how this one looks. It looks a little touch more sleek, but also nice and fun and bubbly. And it prints in like this small size. So if you're thinking about the old school Polaroid, they would be like a big chunky square. These are like much smaller, much smaller. But I have grown to like that. I was not used to it at first because I was used to a Polaroid when I was younger, but I love these things. Like that's exactly how it prints. I love these cameras. They are so cool. They're so fun. They're really great for like parties, events, hanging out with friends. I think they are always like a crowd pleaser. Anytime I have an event, I bring this and I just lay it somewhere so that people can take pictures. It's just the best. It's something that I highly, highly recommend, especially because the price is not bad. Ooh, look at these colors. The green one is stunning. I have a white one. Again, it doesn't look exactly like this, but the green is insane. I love that. How much is this new one? Because I'm pretty sure the one that I have is... Interesting. I am not seeing a price. The one that I have, I believe, was like $40, $50. Maybe it's all the way at the bottom? It's not telling me the price. Interesting. I wonder if I can just quickly... What is it? The Instax Mini 12. Let's see what the price. $80. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's way more expensive than the one that I got, which was like one of the OG ones, I guess, when the Instax came out. It was like $50, $40, I think. But a crowd pleaser for sure. Okay, moving on to the Remarkable. Now, I've heard of the Remarkable. I don't know too much about Remarkable, but I have heard of it. So it says, have you met remarkable paper pros? Some big ideas come to life and work in color with our most advanced paper tablet yet. Okay, so it's a paper tablet. So my guess is that like it's like a notepad, but it's in tablet form, and so you can take notes, especially from this picture over here. It looks like you can do sketching, doodling, charts, annotations, even like actual. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. This looks really, really cool. I love the little sketch option here. I love how it looks. It looks like e-ink. It looks like an e-reader, but like much larger, and the writing looks like it's very natural, as if you were writing on paper, at least from this picture here. Everything you love about paper in a digital notebook. Okay, so I think we're spot on what we think this is. That is so freaking cool. It reminds me of Procreate. However, a lot of Procreate feels like I'm on a tablet. It feels like I'm on an iPad, whereas this looks like I'm on like a very cool sheet of paper, but it's not a sheet of paper. You know what I mean? Look at this. I love that texture. And I also try to replicate this on my iPad with like a Paperlike screen protector. So I'm obsessed with this. This is super, super niche. This is definitely for people who write a lot or have a lot to document and want to like put it all in one place without having a million notebooks, which I personally love a classic pen and paper situation, but this is very tempting as well. I mean, look at it. It's gorgeous. Our most advanced paper tablet, and then paper like writing in black and white. So they have like a basic version and an advanced version. I'm very curious as to how much this is because it looks like it's quite customizable. It's got a lot of features. Let's click on the larger one. Oh my god. Okay. Did not expect that price. What do you get for $629? Let's see. Digital paper, 11.8-inch display, color display. Okay, so that's really nice. Natural writing, so the whole texture thing. And it looks extremely high quality, I have to say. Remove digital noise with paper. Oh my god. Remove digital noise with paper tablet designed to be completely distraction free. Okay, well, we've got that. And then stay organized. Stay on top of your paperwork. Keep notes and documents in one safe place. Anyway, okay. All fabulous things, but for that price, I mean, that's practically the price of a smartphone. So you've really, oh, and there's different kinds of pens. Sorry, I'm like jumping all over the place because I'm literally live reacting. But there's different kinds of pencils. We've got a pencil tip, and then we've got like something, I don't know what that's supposed to replicate. Stay in your writing flow for longer with a finely textured finish for better grip and extra comfort. Okay, I wonder if these cost more in addition to the tablet. They do, and $129 or $80. So that on top of the $600, that's about $700+ for this setup. You've got to be extremely committed and extremely invested in something like this in order to spend that much money. I certainly would not. Like, I would be cool with trying this, but I don't know if I would want to invest that much money into something like this when I am perfectly happy with just a pen and paper, to be honest with you. But I can see the appeal in this, and I can see how this could be extremely useful for some people. Okay, moving on. We have got freewrite. Write without distraction, create without limits. This kind of I was about to say, is it the same exact thing as a remarkable? But no, it's not. They are keyboards, and they look like typewriters. Now, how does this work? We've got different kinds. Sorry. We've got the Traveler, perfectly portable, light, compact, easy on the eyes, e-ink screen. So there's a screen. Smart typewriter, Hemming Write signature. There's different styles. There's different keyboards. There's different colors. And the screens look to be different as well. Now, what I'm confused about is the screen. Let's click on one and see. Oh my god, the price is astronomical. Click and drag. Oh, cool. So it says, write the true sentence that you know. So do you, and then I see a Wi-Fi, I see folder. Don't know what that means. Maybe this is the power button. And then the keyboard is actually stunning. Like, this is a beautiful piece of work here. Holy crap, but the price is insane. Again, another piece of item that you need to be like super committed to and very, very niche. Like, this is for writers that are serious about like disconnecting, because over $1,000 is insane. But I'm not really understanding. Oh, this one's only $550. Probably because it's traveling. So my question is, do you just type on this and it just shows up here? And then what, can you export it somewhere? Can you press a button, hit Wi-Fi, and then it sends to your Google Drive or something? I don't know. It says portable e-ink display, full-size keyboard, distraction-free drafting. Cool, love that. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I see the typing. It shows up on the screen. Oh my god, I love the customization. That's super cute. And then, like, I want to know how you can get this sent. Oh, look. Sync to the cloud for export into your software of choice. Push your productivity forward and tap into writing joy. Now, I actually really like this even more than, let's say, the Remarkable. Because a Remarkable, sure, taking notes, having things all in one place, absolutely fine. This, if you're a writer, and I'm just getting back into writing again, but if you're a writer, this can actually be a lifesaver if you're really, really trying to disconnect. And so disconnect is a huge thing at the forefront here, because when you're writing and you write on anything other than just a piece of paper, the distractions are astronomical, and I can attest to that. So this is actually really cool. And while the price is kind of insane, $550, I can kind of reason with that one a little bit more. And this one's only $350, so it really depends on the model that you're picking here. And I love that there are different model options to choose from. So if you do want to go high end, you can go for something that's over $1,000, or you can go with something that is a little bit more budget friendly. And I actually would give this a try now that I'm getting back into my writing. I don't know if I'm that invested, but like, I would give it a try. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so I found this article for the best dumb phones for smarter phone use, and this is essentially what I was talking about in the intro. Let's just click into some that they have here, because there are a number of them. We've got, and this is an article from The Vice that I found, and I think I like their compilation. So again, let's just jump into it. We've got the light phone, and I think this looks sick. Sorry, I don't know why I'm dying. This looks so cool. It's actually kind of big in that person's hand, so I'm actually afraid of how big that is. But I love the design overall. I like that nice, sleek, small box shape. There's a camera, made to last, which we love. Really like this. So this is more so a phone. You can communicate, you can connect, but on a slightly distance level, as opposed to the books where it didn't seem like you can actually, socialize, make phone calls or text or anything like that on it. Let's click this, see how this looks. Okay, cool. So it's got some high-techy type stuff. Oh, there's a wheel. That's sick. I love this. I don't love how the font is so gigantic on the screen, but maybe that's just a perspective thing. Don't really know the size of this in reality. Speaker grill, so you can, there's photos, okay. You can make phone calls on this. I'm gonna be so real with you, that is kind of sick. This is kind of cool. Replaceable battery? Oh my gosh, I haven't seen one of those in a minute. Okay, yeah, we can see the phone calls. Fabulous. I personally would never call anyone, but that's looking kind of big, and that's looking a little bit too big for me as a small person. But anyway, I like this. It looks really cool. It looks really sturdy. Like, you could throw it against a wall, not that you would, but like, you could throw it against the wall and it would be durable. How much does it cost? $700. That does not include taxes, shipping. Okay, so for a dumb phone and for very like hardware specific stuff, as opposed to like software stuff, you're not getting much software wise. That's steep. And yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I can justify $700 when a smartphone is probably the same price. But, you know, it's probably like it's definitely a smaller brand. And so they're hand making these. So that's probably what goes into the price. But that's kind of steep. Moving on. How do we go back? The punked. Okay, so this is super basic. Oh my god, look how thin that is. I'm actually obsessed, and that price is reasonable for a phone. It looks very much like a landline, but just like tiny. So I don't know how I feel about this. I see like one new message. How do you text? Are you texting like old school? You press on the numbers multiple times? Yeah, that's definitely how it goes. Okay, looks fine. I really like this light blue color. I love a keyboard. I love a keyboard. But this is just a little touch too much back in the reversion space, and I would prefer like a full keyboard, if that makes sense. I also don't like this giant punked label right there. But anyway, let's keep it going. The unplug, tag, and premium subscription. What is this? It's a small device that connects to your phone via unplugged app and helps you take control of your phone habits. Okay, so this is a more physical way of just limiting or digital detoxing on your current device. So love the concept of that. I don't know how practical it is to spend $80 for something like this. I would just use the settings in my phone and save myself $80, but okay. Let's see the ghost phone. Wow, this looks like a Pixel. That looks like a old school Google Pixel. $630. That's definitely a smartphone price. What makes this a dumb phone? 2-day battery life. That's great. Lots of storage. Full 5G LTE, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, stream music. Full SMS. This sounds like a smartphone. Like, what makes this a dumb phone? Distraction free. Okay, there's photos, contacts, messaging. Okay, so it looks like it's just limited to certain apps and not all apps. So it is limiting, but it's still at a smartphone cost, and it kind of looks too close to a smartphone. I guess this is like a good in-between for some people. Okay, we have another punked. Let's see how this one looks. Oops. I'm not into this one. I'm not into punked. I don't like the design of this, and they got rid of the keyboard. Like, why can't we just get a full keyboard? Wise phone. Let's see the Wise phone, which is funny. A healthy smartphone. $399. Not bad. Not bad. Simple focused experience. Has a camera, has a processor, multi-day battery charging. Okay, interesting. So this might be a good tech item for kids. So like a kid that wants a piece of tech or a phone, but you don't want to give them like the full experience. So it's like a censored kind of phone. Super fair. I love that option, especially these days. Okay, moving on to Light Phone 2. So we looked at the Light Phone 3. Oh my god, the Light Phone 2 looks way cooler in my opinion. I'm low-key obsessed with this design. Far more than the 3. Why did they get bulkier and bulkier? I don't know. I'm obsessed with how that looks. Am I going to be able to see more details? Let's see. It's not letting me see much more features on the 2. I wonder if they're trying to disconnect it. Best dumb-ish phone. Unihertz. Oh my god, that's actually hideous. But it does give me throwback vibes. It reminds me of like the old Android phones. But it is quite ugly. Oh my god, but it's actually kind of cute. I kind of like that small, curvy, chunky vibe. Maybe it's the translucent background that's kind of freaking me out. Also, why can't we bring back more keyboards on these dumb phones? And it doesn't look like it's that dumb. It looks like it has full access to like apps and stuff. So they were right when they said dumb-ish. Okay, and then the last one, mid-range flip phone. We've got the Nokia. This is giving complete old school. I don't love it. I don't know. It's like it's not innovative enough, which is kind of annoying, I know, because I was looking at some of the super innovative stuff and I was like, that's kind of weird, but it's just super basic. And I'm not seeing the price, so it's not available. Let me just go back really quickly and see the price on this one. Also not available. The light phone was $300. See, I like the price. I like the look. I like this. I don't know what we're doing here. Did I check the price on the wise phone? Yes, I did. Okay, so we're done with all the dumb phones. Moving on to record players. Very familiar with record players. I have a record player. Love my record player. I just wanted to throw this one in here because it is technically like dumb tech. You can listen to music on your phone, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you want to listen to. And so this is definitely reverting back and putting in some more effort into music listening. So I really did want to showcase that. But I am very familiar with Crosley and other record players because I do have one and I do use them, and I use it most often in the fall time for like my spooky vinyl that I have like Scream soundtracks and Halloween soundtracks and stuff like that, but I also use it a lot during Christmas time because I have a lot of Christmas records. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Some of them can get really, really pricey, but some of them can be more affordable. And of course, you don't have to go with Crosley. You can go with other brands as well. I think I have a Crosley. I can't remember. Okay, friends, we went through a bunch of tech there, so hopefully you stuck with me through all of those. And like I said, I was live reacting through those things, so I didn't plan or expect to see the specs or the prices or anything of the sort of any of those items. So I apologize if it was kind of like me jumping back and forth between thoughts and me just reacting on the screen, because that's truly what was going on. But I did hope that you had fun while hanging out with me and looking through these interesting dumb tech items. Do any of them sound interesting to you? Let me know in the comments if you are definitely going to pick up something of the sort. I think the dumb phones are the most interesting to me. I would love to have a dumb phone, but realistically, would I be able to juggle multiple phones to begin with? I don't know. But I think those are the most interesting. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you in the next video.